Hi folks, John Cordisco back again. Round 4 of the European Team Chess Championship 2015 being played in Reykjavik, Iceland, the location of the famous 1972 Fischer-Spassky match. This is two world-class players. I like both of them a lot. As white, Mickey Adams from England, and black, Aronian. It's the England-Armenia match. I do have to say this was played yesterday on the 16th of November, which is my birthday, and I decided to show it today because the 17th of November is Mickey Adams' birthday. So happy birthday, Mickey. If anybody knows Mickey and sees this, let's get to it. It's going to be a real pay. It's going to be a Berlin, but don't roll your eyes. There's a ton of different Berlins. Some are a lot better than others. Knight takes. We'll just go through the opening here. You've seen this a couple of million times. H3. This is the one thing I don't like about the Berlin, is you've got to waste that tempo with the king. Knight C3, H5, Knight E2. Now, the Berlin, to my recollection, at least to my knowledge, was started back, at least in its current forms, by Vladimir Kramnik years ago, who told Nigel Short once, who was also from England, his goal is to make sure that the world-class players did not play E4 anymore. Pretty much, in his mind, he wanted to set up a Berlin setups where black always draws. And Knight to E2, by the way, is the last book move. Tiny advantage for white, nothing really spectacular. Bishop E7. The only problem you have is getting this rook out. This rook can eventually come over, but this rook can't because the king's in the way. So that's part of the problem. How do you get the rook out? Bishop G5. Bishop E6 just developing. Knight F4. Bishop comes up. Now this is unusual. It's also the computer's move. I like Bishop E7 first, but that just trades down. Who wants that? The number one move by the computer is knight takes, which is really unusual because C takes straightens out black's pawns. Now black's pawns are all set. They're not doubled anymore. Rook at D1, of course, going after the D pawn, and simply C6 to protect it. Small advantage for white, but nothing really extraordinary here in the position. Rook to E1, H4. Now we'll have to say, pretty soon this heats up. So don't think this is another boring Berlin draw. I wouldn't show one of those. Rook to D3. And this is where Levin decides to, this is how he's going to activate his rook. He went H4 just so he can get his rook out. Now, white has to react. King takes. He doubles up his rooks. Okay. Rook over. C4. D4. Now you can do all the trades on D4. End up a pawn up in the end. Boring pawn up rook game. Mickey decides to go B4 instead. B6. King to F1. Get your king up. Because you're going to start getting some trades here pretty soon. At least with the queens off the board, you want your king as active as you possibly can. C5. B takes, B takes. Rook A3. Now I got some open maneuvering now. This file is open. Maybe for this rook. This rook can open. Really, it doesn't show that much of an advantage for white, but I'll tell you the truth. Rooks need to be active, especially in endgames. Rook to D7 to guard. Little passive on Aronian now. Knight D1. Mickey's going to bring around that knight. Rook H6. Knight D3. Does a couple of good things. One, it attacks the C5 pawn, and it also blockades black's past D pawn. And as we all know, knights are excellent blockaders. Rook C6. See, now he's got to use his rooks to guard his pawns. Not very active. Rook to B1. And this is a typical position for Mickey Adams. Small advantage. Get your opponent to be passive and then start turning the screws. Rook over. Really don't know why he did that. I don't know. I'm not sure about that. I like a6. Maybe rook to b6 to try to trade at least one rook. At least get the rook in the open file. He decides to double up his rooks. I'm not sure. I'm not second guessing Levin Aronian. He's a world-class player. Knight to f4. Here comes that knight to the really, really juicy spot here. Good spot for that knight. And not much black can do about it. Rook to d7. He's just moving to move. Rook to b8. Get that rook behind there. Get some activity. And this is where I think Levin messes up. Now, it's funny. When you'll see these guys in regular tournaments, you know, Olympiads, team championships like this, they don't seem to play as well, including Carlsen. Carlsen has yet to win a game yet. Now, he hasn't played every round for Norway, but he's yet to win a game yet. And a6 seems logical. Maybe f6. Get rid of that lead pawn. But decides to go, he chased the knight off. And that is a disaster from the get-go. Knight checks. King moves. Rook to e8 check. Can't move the knight there. Or can't move the rook there. Has to move the knight there. Now, basically, black is paralyzed. Absolutely paralyzed. This rook can't go here, here, or here, or here, or here. He can't move. What's this rook going to do? Can't do anything either. King can't move. Well, the king can move, but you lose a piece. Just horrible. So Mickey, just typical Mickey, just slowly turn the screws, moves his king up. Rook to b6. Now he's actually offering lose a rook for a knight, to lose the exchange. But Mickey, he knows better. Just moves his king up. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Rook to b2. What else is he going to do? Rook to a6 check. Rook to b6. He's got to come back. Knight finally takes. Pawn takes. Rook takes. King takes pawn. Absolutely doomed. Rook to c6. King to f5. Rook takes. King comes over. Finally gets save that poor knight. Rook b8. Now it's just a matter of technique. Rook checks. King has to go back. Rook takes. A rook and two pawns for a knight. Knight to f4 check. King up. And that's where Levin Aronian decides to heck with it. Give you an idea what will happen after d3. King takes. And that's the end of that. This rook can come back. Deal with this pawn whenever he wants to. Could even go rook here. And it's over. Anyway, folks, tough break for Levin. I'm really shocked. Not that anything against Mickey Adams, so he's a world-class player. In fact, Mickey came, I was reading his Wikipedia page the other day. He lost on tie breaks, and I mean blitz and rapid games, on matches to play in the World Championship. 3 times he tied, and 3 times he lost in the tie break games to play for the World Championship. So, Mickey Adams has been there, done it all, and he does it again on his birthday. Happy birthday, Mickey. Look for more games from the European Team Championship. It's being played in Reykjavik, Iceland. Pretty cool. Anyway, folks, I want you all to remember, if you think chess is just a game, you're not playing it right. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.